Shraddhayan prane nibishto amritam juhumi. Shraddhayam apane nibishto amritam juhumi. Shraddhayam pyane abhishto amritam juhumi. Shraddhayam udane nibishto amritam juhumi. Shraddhayam samane abhishto amritam juhumi. Brahmani ma atma amritatvayam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. From the Mahanarayana Upanishad. Shraddha. Firm in my religious faith, I offer this oblation of ambrosia into prana with reverence. Firm in my religious faith, I offer this oblation of ambrosia into apana with reverence. Firm in my religious faith, I offer this oblation of ambrosia into jnana with reverence. Firm in my religious faith, I offer this oblation of ambrosia into udana with reverence. Firm in my religious faith, I offer this oblation of ambrosia into samana with reverence. By these oblations, may myself be united with the Supreme, so that I may attain immortality. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is Thoughts on the Gita, part 119. We shall start chapter 17, Shraddhatrayo Vibhago Yoga. Shraddha Vibhago Yoga, the inquiry into the threefold Shraddha. Shraddha. Before I start the text, I shall give you a little brief introduction what Shraddha is. Swami Vivekananda did not translate the word Shraddha. It is an untranslatable word in English language. Sometimes we translate Shraddha means faith. It is not faith only. It is a combination of various things. Faith, love, devotion, steadfastness, strength, bravery. All these things, all these ideas mixed together brings the word faith, Shraddha. When I think about Shraddha, I think about tornado in the Midwest. Shraddha to me is like tornado. Scattered clouds we see, they do not have any strength. they just evaporate, they fade, they maybe bring a little wind and just fade. But when those scattered clouds get concentrated and become very dark, sometimes we see in the Midwest, very dark, deep. And when the tornado starts to blow, we get this signal from the city. All sirens are on. Get ready, get ready. Tornado is coming. Tornado watch. And when the tornado blows, it blows away the homes, mobile homes, cars, trees. It creates a havoc. Some years ago, I visited one of our Djibouti's house in Kansas City. She showed me her whole house. One room I saw 2/3 underground. Only a little window is visible above the land, above the level. Well, Swami, that room is for my safety during tornado. The moment tornado comes, I go to that room and save my life. Tornado. It has tremendous power. So this Shraddha has really tremendous power. It can make impossible possible. It can bring anything you want in your life. In the Panchatantra, we read, Mantre tirthe divi devi devagye bhishaje guru jadrishi bhavanajaisa siddhir bhavati tadrishi. If your faith in the mantra, tirtha, in holy place, in God, in medicine, devagye bhishaje, Guru, and faith in the Guru. According to your Shraddha, you will get the result. If your Shraddha is 10%, 10% result. 80%, 80% result. It depends upon your Shraddha. We shall explain more about this Shraddha, what really Shraddha is. Swami Vivekananda returned to India in 1897 from America, and on 28 February he gave an address in Calcutta, which is the reception address. Wherever Swamiji went, they are giving him reception. In that reception address, he mentioned about Shraddha. Why this degradation of India? I have a chart Swamiji gave nearly 28 causes of degradation of India. Why India lost freedom and how Indian people were so lost their faith in themselves. If you read Swamiji's lectures from Colombo to Almora, which is incomplete, was volume 3, you will see that how he is awakening the Indian nation through his lectures, through these Vedantic ideals. Shraddha, Shraddha, Shraddha. Faith in yourself. You may worship the 33 million gods and goddesses, but if you do not have faith in yourself, nothing will work. Nothing will work. I want to read that passage, what Swamiji said to the Indian people. It is very inspiring. Those of you, it is addressed at Calcutta and Swamiji's reply. Those of you who have studied that most beautiful of all the Upanishads, the Katha Upanishad, will remember how the king was going to make a great sacrifice. And instead of giving away things they were of any worth, he was giving away cows and horses that were not of any use. And the book says that at that time, Shraddha entered in the heart of his son, Nachiketa. I will not translate this word Shraddha to you. It would be a mistake. It is a wonderful word to understand, and much depends on it. We will see how it works. For immediately we find Nachiketa telling himself, I am superior to many, I am inferior to few, but nowhere I am the last. I can also do something. And this boldness increased, and the boy wanted to solve the problem which was in his mind, the problem of death. The solution could only be got by going to the house of death. And the boy went. Then there he was, brave Nachiketa, waiting at the house of death for 3 days. And you know how he obtained what he desired. He understood the mystery of death. What is death? He understood the real nature of the Atman. And what he wanted is the Shraddha. Unfortunately, it has nearly vanished from India, and this is why we are in our present stage. What makes the difference between man and man is the difference in the Shraddha and nothing else. What makes one man great and another weak and low is the Shraddha. My master used to say, he who thinks himself weak will become weak, and that is true. The Shraddha must enter into you. That Swamiji said. Shraddha. In the Bhagavad Gita, we see 3 stages. In the 2nd chapter of the Gita, we read the science of an illumined soul, manifested intellect. There we learn 2 things. First, how to be detached and how to get rid of worldly desires. Sthita Prajna, 2nd chapter, these 2 things we learn. How to be detached and how to get rid of desire. Then in the 12th chapter, when we come, we learn 2 things. How to love and how to get rid of hatred, which is very vital in human life. How to love people and not to hate anybody. As Buddha says in the Dhammapada, hatred cannot be conquered by hatred. Hatred may be conquered by love. You know, without love, human life is valueless, meaningless. Then in the 14th chapter, Krishna talked about how to transcend the gunas. Do you know what does it mean? You have detachment, you have desirelessness, you have love, and all those things, but still one thing is extremely needed. Transcend the Vajrayana. Dehabhiman, ego. We have morbid attachment for flesh, for body. That he was talking. Another thing, Abhinivesh, fear of death. Dehabhiman, attachment for the body. And Jiva Swabhav. I am an individual soul. I am a Jiva. I am weak. I am no good. Instead of thinking that I am the Atman. So these are the, when you read the Gita, you see these are the stages. So in this chapter, which we are going to study, Shraddha will teach us what kinds of people are in this world, and how one can transcend these gunas. Whole world is controlling these three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Sattva is calmness, tranquility. We elaborately discuss these things in the 14th chapter of the Gita. Rajas, activity, restlessness; Tamas, dullness, inertia. All three gunas are important. We sometimes say, oh, Tamas is no good. Without Tamas he will die. Tamas is sleep, which gives rest to your body and mind. You need it. Rajas, you need Rajas, activity. You need Sattva, calmness, serenity. Please watch these three things. And Krishna is telling, you will have to transcend these three gunas. And sometimes Swamiji's that illustration I like. The pendulum of the clock must swing. Tick tock, tick tock. Happiness, misery, happiness, misery. What is our goal? Stop the pendulum. Transcend this duality, pairs of opposite, gunas. That is our goal. You know, when we study this Gita, it is a very practical scripture. Gunas. Gunotra vibhaga yoga. This Shraddha was elaborately discussed in the Yoga Sutra. Yoga Sutra says, Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna, Purvaka, Itoresham. This Samadhi is attained through faith, energy, memory, concentration, and discrimination of the real from the unreal. Let me explain to you. It is very interesting to understand how one thing is connected with the other. First, Patanjali says, first Shraddha. Shraddha means Chittir Prasannata. Calmness of the mind, which will force you to tattva vishaye utkacha ichha, a desire to know God, yearning, longing for God. So when the Shraddha dawns, appears in the mind, then what comes? Birja. Strength comes. As I said, when tornado is formed, the power comes to blow away everything. From Shraddha comes Birja. Strength, tremendous strength comes, force comes. Mangalahini Shraddha, yogigan ki rakha kare. From Shraddha comes Birja means projatno, effort. I shall make God realization in this very life, that projatno. Then from Shraddha comes Smriti. From Birja, strength comes Smriti. Smriti means recollectedness, memory. And at that time, I shall never forget God. Our minds are taken away from God by worldly things. But then from virtue, from strength, at that time that person's mind is very strong. Strong mind. With that mind, he holds. That is called smriti. Smriti means dhyan. And he constantly meditates about God. Then from meditation comes sampragyata samadhi. I am talking about Yoga Sutra. And next stage, look, he told 4 things. Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna Purvakam. Prajna means Sampragyata Samadhi you have attained. Still, time to time we think this world is real. At that time comes Prajna. Very discriminating mind. Real, unreal. This world is unreal, God is real, Brahman is real, Atman is real. So my mind should be on the reality. Who starts this kind of knowledge, wisdom? Shraddha. Beginning Shraddha. Look, that is the Yoga Sutra. Vedanta Shastra ki bole? Shat Sampatti. You need 6 treasures in the spiritual life. Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Samadhana, Shraddha. Look, what a beautiful way Vedanta scriptures tells us. First, Shama, learn how to control your mind. Shama, Dhamma, learn how to control the senses. Uparati, learn how to draw the mind from the worldly objects. You know, we learn attachment, we never learn detachment. That is our problem. Uparati, withdraw. Any moment from any object, just withdraw the mind. The yogis gave an example, like tortoise. Tortoise, the moment you hit, the tortoise shrinks all 4 legs and head inside the shells. You hit, the legs and head will never come out. They know how to withdraw. The yogis, when they see some bad thoughts and bad things come, boom, they know how to withdraw within themselves. That's called uparati. Then titiksha. Sanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. Chinta bilapuritam satitiksha nigodati. My guru used to repeat this mantra. It is from Viveka Chudamani, Graduals of Discrimination. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. Forbear all kinds of misery. Apratikara purvakam. Do not try to stop it. Let misery pass over your body because it is of your karma. Chinta bilaporohitam. Do not lament. Do not get worries and anxieties. Satitiksha nibbodhati. That is called forbearance. Another verse my guru used to say, Nabi nandeta maranam, nabi nandeta jivanam, kalameva pratikshita, nirdesho vrittako jatha. Those verses I memorized because these verses help me to understand. Never seek life, never seek death. Just wait. As a servant waits for the call of his teacher, guru, for his master. So when death will come, let it come. That is the reason. Katha Upanishad, Swamiji again and again repeated that verse. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapavaran Nibudata. Arise, awake, and just stop not till the goal is reached. Arise, awake. These are the great, great, powerful mantras of the Upanishads, Vedanta. They inspire us, they guide us. You know, sometimes breakdown and all these things. Pain, these things, it comes and goes. What to do? Tang stitiksha bharata. Krishna already says, Arjuna, forbear. If there is any medicine, antibiotic or something, Arjuna, Krishna would say, take this medicine, pain will go away. He did not say that. He says forbear. Forbearance. Samadhana, titiksha, samadhana, self-centeredness, shraddha. Shraddha is the culmination. I am talking about in the Yoga Sutra we see shraddha, in Vedanta Shastra we see shraddha. Now Bhakti Shastra. Rupa Goswami, Sanat Chaitanya's main disciple, wrote Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In that book he wrote Adau Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Atha Bhajana Kriya Tato Anartha Nivritti Syat Tato Nishtha Ruchi Tata Anasakti Tato Bhavas Tato Prema. It is a stage of love. You say love, 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 I love you, I love you, love you. It's seeing that before you get that divine love, how many stages you will have to go. First, Shraddha. Adau Shraddha. Adau means in the very beginning, you must have Shraddha. To your Guru, to God, to the scripture. Second, from Shraddha comes Sadhu Sangha. When the desire for God comes, and let me have the company of the holy people. From Sadhu Sangha, Atha Bhajana Kriya. Then they take instruction from the holy person and then practices bhajan, spiritual disciplines. From spiritual disciplines, do you know what comes from spiritual disciplines? Anartha nivritti. All the opposite thoughts, unfavorable things will come to your life, they will not be able to disturb you. They will come. Maya will come, will try to shake your faith, your Shraddha, but will not be able to succeed because you have Shraddha and you practice. Then comes Nishtha, steadfast devotion. From Nishtha comes Ruchi. Once that Ruchi means taste. At that time you taste spirituality. Once you get the taste, you will never give up. You want to eat that gourmet food or some good food which you get, you will want to eat it again and again. That thing comes, Ruchi. From Ruchi comes Atha Asakti. At that time you become very attached to God. Attachments. We are attached to the world, not attached to God. I was watching in Kali Mandir. The Kali Mandir in Laguna Beach, this side is the dog ranch and this side is the Kali Mandir. So they put an arrow. Some people come and say, where is the God ranch? So they put an arrow. This is dog ranch, this is God ranch. They took a picture of me with in front of that, funny. Asakti. From Asakti comes Bhava. Bhava means intoxication, mood, intoxication. Yes, when you drink a glass of wine, you get intoxicated. That kind of intoxication comes. From intoxication comes prema, love. I am just telling you just the chapter we are going to study, Shraddha. Why Shraddha is so vital in his spiritual life. In the 4th chapter, Krishna already mentioned, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. That is the fantastic message of the Bhagavad Gita. If you want Shraddhavan, the person who is endowed with Shraddha, faith, love, labhate jnanam, you will get the knowledge, wisdom. Even sometimes when we read the Bible, Christ is scolding his disciples. You man of little faith, come, follow me. little faith, that means you have lack of Shraddha. Christ also emphasized about Shraddha. Then when the Shraddha comes, you know what Patanjali says? Tibra sangbega nam asannaha. Tibra sangbeg. Means the person who has a tremendous velocity, speed, his God realization becomes very quick. Some people are in the monastery 70 years, 80 years, or devotees 80 years, 40, 50 years. Just not much progress. Sometimes we find some devotees come 1 or 2 years with tremendous speed. They're devoting more time for spiritual life. They make tremendous progress. Progress depends upon your hand. It is not in Guru's hand or anybody's hand. When you are driving your car, steering is in your hand, not in the passenger's hand. It depends upon what is your speed, how much time, how much intensity, how much Shraddha you have for spiritual life. It all depends on Shraddha. Sahi Jananiva Kallanam Yoginam Pati. Vyasa says, Shraddha is just like a loving mother, protects the yogis. As the mother always protects her children, so the Shraddha is like a mother, protects the yogis. In the Upanishads, Shraddha has another word called Krotu. Krotu means resolve, vow. Perhaps you have seen when I practice the ritual, before I start worship, I had to do Sankalpa. Sankalpa means resolution. You will see a small copper spoon, there I put Ganges water. Then I put bay leaf or grass and the flower and the banana, and then I hold it. Then I resolve that for this purpose, for this I am resolved to perform these rituals for the good of all, for the good of many. In this way, I put it down. Then you will see I am taking some rice, dry rice. On that I put on it, and then I repeat some mantras. That is my resolution. That is called Krotu, Shraddha. When a firm resolve, I must do it. Very interesting, even in ritualistic worship, we need that Shraddha. Shraddhatsya Shummo. Very interesting about Shraddha. We have completed the 16th chapter of the Gita, and the chapter closed with the statement, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karja Karjo Vyavastitau. In all of your behavior and conduct, you must depend upon the Shastra. In the last verse of the 16th chapter of the Gita, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karja Karja Vyavastitau Gyatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karvam Kurtum Iharoshi. So let the Shastra be your authority in ascertaining what ought to be done or what ought not to be done. Having known what is said in the ordinance of the Shastra, you should act in the world. That was the last verse. So Krishna said that, now Arjuna is raising a question. Ye shastra vidim utsrijya jajanti shraddhayanita tesham nishtatuka Krishna satyam aho rajastama. Those who, setting aside the ordinance of the Shastra, perform sacrifice with Shraddha, what is their condition, O Krishna? Is it Sattva, Rajas and Tamas? Everybody has Shraddha. But many people do not follow the injunction, the ordinance of the scriptures. Some people have tremendous Shraddha for making money. Wall Street, investment, day and night, dreaming, thinking, money, Shraddha. Some people have tremendous Shraddha for gambling, tremendous Shraddha for drinking, Shraddha. This Shraddha is in everybody. But they are not channelized, guided by the scriptures. That is the question Arjuna is asking. I see some people have Shraddha. You say that it is the scripture, it is the guidance. But I see the scripture, what do you think about it, Krishna? They do not follow the ordinance of the Shastra, perform sacrifice with Shraddha. What is their condition? How do they behave in this world? That we see. 99% people in this world, godless life. Have money, enjoyment, what next? Where do they go? We do not believe in scripture. And Shraddha Korina, you know, atheists are much better than the people who are indifferent. I don't care. But the atheists, at least they believe that there is no God. It's better than, I don't care whether it is good and bad. I don't care. This kind of indifference, and that is the correct word, is just apathy. That is the correct word. Apathy. That we find most of the world. Oh, Swami, I am spiritual, but not religious. I wrote an article on that in the Prabhupada Bharata. I don't believe in scripture, but I do my work and I have faith in some of my things. Krishna did not answer directly to Arjuna. The question he answered, it is just like a homeopathic doctor. You came to me and said, please tell me what is my disease. The doctor says, seeing your face, I cannot tell you what is your disease. First tell me what is your condition, your complaint. He will ask question after question. Before I diagnose your disease, I must know you first. Then I shall tell you what is the disease. That Krishna is doing to Arjuna. Very interesting. If you go to a doctor, he says, doctor, give me medicine, I'm sick. Are you sick? First tell me what is wrong. The doctor will question you one after another, a lot of questions. Then he said, perhaps this. But still, if to be sure, he will say, well, you need CAT scan, well, you need X-ray, well, you need blood test. After having all these tests, he is determined that this is wrong in your system. Then he will give you medicine. So, so Krishna is first studying the patient. Then I shall tell you what is your disease. Krishna was talking about, he answered, Trivida bhavati shraddha dehina sa svabhavaja sattiki rajasi chaiva tamasi cheti tang shrinu. Threefold is the shraddha of the embodied, which is inherent in their nature. The sattvic, the rajasic and the tamasic. Listen about it from me. He was talking about three kinds of Shraddha. Shraddha is not of one kind. Sattvic Shraddha, Rajasic Shraddha, Tamasic Shraddha. In this world you will find these three kinds of people. Now the Shraddha comes in the mind, it is the moner dharma. It is the nature of the mind, the Shraddha. But mind is blind. So Shraddha is also blind. Who controls the mind? Buddhi, intellect. This Buddhi is the most important thing. Buddhi is the discriminating faculty. What is good, what is bad, what is real, unreal. This power of discrimination, good and bad, it belongs to Buddhi. Suppose you have the mind, but you have no Shraddha. Your mind is always guided by the only Buddhi. Do you know what happens? That person becomes dry intellectual, atheist. That we find many, many people in this world. Dry intellectual. No love, no feeling, no Shraddha. Shashadat Tarko Chudamani, great Pandit, came to Sri Ramakrishna. Seeing Sri Ramakrishna's Samadhi and this and that, oof. I wrote these things in this book but never experienced it. I am a dry intellectual. Do you know what is my job? I defeat people through arguments, through debate. And I get joy defeating people. But I have no peace. I remember our Swami Vishuddhanandaji told a beautiful story. A great Pandit, great intellectual, went to take bath in the river. Had no peace. So he was bathing and a fish came above the water and says, I am thirsty. The Pandit said, you were all the time in the water and you see that you are thirsty? How come? Then Pandit suggested, you do one thing. You open your mouth and then close it. And close these both sides where the water may not come out. And then go upside down, then water will go in your stomach. And go upside down, then water will go into your stomach. Then your thirst will go away. Do you know what the fish said to that Pandit? The same teaching for you. You go inside. Ulot jao. Go upside down. Then water will go inside your stomach. You see, faith, that Shraddha, with the mind, and that buddhi guides, then it will go to the right direction. Otherwise, you will be a debater and you will be a intellect also, three kinds. Krishna will tell us in the 18th chapter of the Gita, verse 32. There he will talk elaborately, three kinds of buddhi, three kinds of intellect. Shraddha. Trivida bhavati shraddha dehi nami svabhavaja. Svabhavaja means svabhav. Hey, your svabhav kharab. Your nature is bad. Oh, your nature is good. Why does the svabhav nature comes? You know, you few people are here want to know about Vedanta, about the spiritual life. This svabhav, this nature, you cultivated in your previous life. My teacher quite often used to say, many are called, but few are chosen. It's svabhav. This nature you can change only in human life. Svabhavaja. A svabhav comes from purva janma samskara. Patanjali says, sati mule tad vipako jati ayu bhoga. Because of our previous karma, that karma's impressions brings jati, where you will be born. Ayu, how long you will live in that particular life, longevity. Bhoga, happiness and misery, what you will encounter in that particular life. All depends upon your previous life's karma. But then, is there no hope for me, Swami, in this life? Of course. That I was telling this morning. The karma can change. There are three types of karma. Sanchita, kriyamana, and prarabdha. They compared these three karmas with three arrows. You have three arrows in your quiver, and here is the bow. You just shoot the arrow. What happens? That's out of your hand, it is gone. The karma which you have done, it is over. That karma definitely will bring result to you. That is happening, prarabdha karma in this life. We are going through our karma. Kriyamana, another arrow. It is, you have a bow, you are about to throw, then you are thinking, shall I throw or not? You see, do you know how it works? Yogis, before they throw the arrow, they see where this arrow will go, the result of arrow. Before you do any karma, you know this karma, what kind of result will come. I killed somebody. I know that I will be caught and I will be hanged or I will be punished. Whole life I will be in jail. This killing karma will bring this result. That is the reason yogi, before they do any karma, they check, am I doing right? That is called kriyamana. Asanchita karma, the arrow which we have in your back, you have not yet used it. All accumulated millions of lives, karma is in that arrow. But it has not yet started to act. It is there. But how shall we get rid of this karma, Swami? Krishna says in the 4th chapter of the Gita, Ganagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurite Arjuna. If you have that fire of knowledge of Brahman, they will burn all karma instantly. You will get rid of all karma if you have this knowledge of God, Brahman. We have the medicine. How to get rid of this karma? All depends on Shraddha, Svabhavaja. Sattiki, Rajasi, Tamasi, Jaivaja. Let me explain to you a little bit about this karma, how it works. Here is a robber. In the jungle, he has a Kali temple. He worships Kali. And in this Kali, he sacrifices human beings. Why? So that when I shall rob, I shall not be caught. I shall make a lot of money robbing people. He has tremendous Shraddha for Kali. That is tamasic Shraddha. I shall destroy people, make myself happy. That is the tamasic type of people in this world, Krishna says. Rajasic people also want to worship Kali or Durga. I shall give goat sacrifice, then lamb sacrifice. Goal, I shall enjoy the meat and friends and family and the big pomp and luxury and big festival, spending money. I am doing puja. They are destructive, intention destructive puja. Here is my enjoyment first. I shall enjoy good food, meat, wine, friends, family, but I shall do the puja. That also is puja, doing puja. That is Rajasic puja. What is Sattvic puja? The Sattvic people thinks, I shall have to do the puja. He imagines goat is the symbol of lust. And buffalo, they also catch the buffalo. Buffalo is the symbol of anger. So I shall cut anger and lust that Krishna mentioned in the Gita. Kamaesha, Krodesha, Rajaguna, Samudbhava, Mahasana, Mahapapma, Vidyenam, Hyavairinam. In the 3rd chapter, Krishna mentioned a calm, lust, and anger. These are the two invincible enemies. Kill them mercilessly, Arjuna. He mentioned in the 3rd chapter, but these two enemies I must kill through my meditation, mental sacrifice. I shall mentally, they are all a sacrifice. Man sacrifice, goat sacrifice, lamb sacrifice, and this is mentally he sacrificed lust and anger. That is called Sattvic puja. In our monastery, we do not do goat sacrifice. This kind of sacrifice we do. Or sometimes they cut a little cucumber or a sugar cane, just as a symbol. I'm just telling you that all three are doing puja, but differently. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So you can visualize how Sattvic people function, Rajasic people function, and Tamasic people functions. Swami Ranganathanandaji commented, India has achieved very high development of the field of psychology. We started at the sensory level and we found that it is the mind that directs the sensory system. Let us study the mind, we decided. That is how we developed psychology of very high type. The West too had its psychology, but it was only the external type, behaviorist psychology. It was purely from the external. A little depth psychology came from Freud, who just peeped into the human mind a little and found it to be full of dirt, full of violence, sex, and nothing else. From that time, there has been a steady development of this peeping into the mind of a human personality. A deep study and a still deeper study is going on in the West, and that study is being helped by the great study of the mind made by India ages ago. So psychology is developing in the West from various angles today, both as a curative science through psychiatry and psychoanalysts, and as a science of human nature, a pure science of the human personality. The development is going on here in the Gita. It is a wonderful study. How to change nature? That is the whole question. How to change nature? Through Shraddha, you can change your nature. सत्यम अनुरूपा सर्वैश्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत श्रद्धामयो एवं पुरुषो जया श्रद्धा सैव स. I love this line. Shraddhamayo ayam purushaha. A human being is full of Shraddha. Joja Shraddha saiva sa. Whatever your faith is, you are that. That is a gospel truth. As Sri Ramakrishna says that if you think I am a sinner, I am a sinner, I am a sinner, you will be a sinner. I am the Atman, I am the Atman, I am the Atman, you will be the Atman. I am pure. That scene comes to my mind. The cook in Jairambati walked over some filth, some dog's filth on the streets or something like that. And they are very orthodox people. She came to mother and said, Mother, I have to take bath. I put my foot in the filth. Mother said, no, just wash your feet and sprinkling Ganges water, that will be fine, you will be pure. Oh no, Mother, I will not be pure. Mother said, just change your cloth and wash, that will be fine, you will be pure. No, Mother, I will have to take bath. Do you know what Holy Mother said? I shall not be pure. Touch me. That is a fantastic message. Touch me, you will be pure. Holy Mother said. Shraddha. Shankara says, let me read the translation of that verse. The Shraddha of each is according to his or her natural disposition. O descendant of Bharata, a person consists of his or of her Shraddha. One is verily what one's Shraddha is. Beautiful. Shankara says, Vishishto sanskara upeta antakarana rupa sattva rupa. Sanskar. Your minds, some people sanskara is so good. Some people it is a Brahminical sanskar. Some people have Kshatriya sanskar, Vaishya sanskar, Shudra sanskar. Seeing a person, you can feel that what kind of sanskara he is. Some people very spiritual sanskars. As he says, the sanskar is in everybody, but Tarotama is there, gradation. Good, better, best. That is kind of thing. Joja Shraddha Saiva Shah. That is a beautiful message. I am what I believe. Shraddhamayu vayam purusha. All these human beings are full of Shraddha. Joja Shraddha Sabeda. You are what you believe. Then this will, you will elaborate. Sattvic Shraddha, Rajasic Shraddha, Tamasic Shraddha. Sattvic Shraddha, they worship God. Rajasic Shraddha, they will worship money. As Sri Ramakrishna used to say, if some rich people, their money goes 4 places. Doctors, lawyers, robbers, spoiled children. They hold money like a Jaksha Rakshangshi. That Krishna will tell us. I have no time today. I shall elaborate that how these Rajasic people worship money and what happens to them. Very stingy. Money. I know a person, money is thinking about his son, grandsons, whole money will go son, grandson, and how to go. Anyhow, those things we shall discuss next time. So we finished up to third verses. Shraddha mayoyam purusha yoja shraddha saivasa. Is Shraddha is the vital things in human life. Thank you very much. I shall now pray. Om asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya avirabirmayedhi rudrajate dakshinamukam tinamam pahi nityam. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through. And guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Peace, 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 and food.